The pink leash was still hanging from the hook by our back door. That was the first thing I saw when I came home from therapy with my daughter. Not the empty dog bed. Not the stainless bowl still half full of water. The leash, pink nylon, chewed a little near the clip because Biscuit had carried it around like a trophy whenever Lily said the word walk. Lily saw it too. Her hand went cold inside mine. "Mom?" she whispered. "Where's Biscuit?" I didn't answer right away because my brain was doing that stupid, hopeful thing where it tried to make any explanation except the obvious. Maybe he was in the yard. Maybe my mother-in-law, Denise, had taken him around the block. Maybe he was asleep in the laundry room, and Denise walked out of my kitchen with a glass of iced tea like she owned the air. "He's gone," she said. Lily dropped my hand. "What do you mean gone?" Denise rolled her eyes. "Don't start. I found him a very nice family." My daughter made this sound I had only heard once before, when a shopping cart slammed into her ankle at the grocery store. Small. Sharp. Like pain trying not to be noticed. "You sold Biscuit?" My sister-in-law, Paige, came out behind Denise, still wearing my robe. My robe. She crossed her arms and looked at my daughter like Lily was a spill on the floor. "A mutt is not worth more than my Cancun deposit," Denise said. Then Paige added, "She cries over everything anyway." Something inside me went still. Not calm, not gentle, just still. I looked at the hook, the pink leash, the little brass tag I had ordered online 3 days after Biscuit finished his training. Lily's service dog. Do not separate. The tag was gone. "Where is he?" I asked. Denise sipped her tea. "With people who can afford him." Lily started shaking. She backed into the wall and slid down until she was sitting on the floor beside Biscuit's empty bed. Her knees came up to her chest. "Mommy? My chest hurts." That's what Biscuit was trained for. Before the panic took Lily over, before her hands clawed at her throat and she forgot how to breathe, he pressed his body against her legs, then climbed into her lap, all 65 pounds of golden brown fur and stubborn love. He made her count his ears, his paws, his breaths. He was not a pet. He was the reason my child could sleep with the light off. I knelt in front of her, put one hand on her chest, and said, "Look at me. Count my fingers." But she wasn't looking at me. She was staring past me at the empty hook. "Biscuit doesn't know where I am." Denise sighed like we were boring her. "For God's sake, Hannah. It's a dog." And the buyer paid cash. $6,500. "You should be thanking me. That thing was too valuable to waste on tantrums." I stood up slowly. "Give me the buyer's name." "No." "Give me the address." "No, Denise." She smiled. "You always say my son doesn't contribute enough. Consider this a contribution. My husband Evan was out of state for work, a maintenance supervisor at a hotel chain, gone 4 days a week, exhausted the other 3. He loved Lily. He loved me. But when it came to his mother, he turned soft and useless, like wet cardboard. Denise knew that. She had stayed with us for 2 weeks after her condo had a plumbing issue. That was 7 months ago. Paige came just until her lease started. That was 11 weeks ago. They ate our groceries, used our washer, complained about Lily's therapy schedule, and treated Biscuit like a dirty rug with a heartbeat. I tolerated it because Evan begged me. "Mom's lonely," he'd said. "Paige is struggling. It's temporary, and because Lily had already lost too much. First her father's steady presence because bills mattered. Then school became half days after the panic attacks started. Then friends stopped inviting her when she had to leave 2 birthday parties crying in bathrooms. I kept telling myself peace in the house was worth swallowing my pride. That night, I learned peace was just what predators call silence. I called Evan first. It went to voicemail. Then I texted him. "Your mother sold Biscuit while Lily was in therapy. Call me now." Then I called Denise's bluff. I searched her purse. She screamed, "That's theft!" I found nothing but gum wrappers, a lipstick, and a receipt from a nail salon for $148. Paige recorded me on her phone. "Say hi to the judge," she said. I turned toward her. "Good. Keep recording." That shut her up for half a second. Lily was still on the floor, rocking, both hands pressed to her ears. I got her shoes back on. I grabbed the pink leash because she refused to leave without it. We drove. I didn't know where. That was the worst part. I drove through neighborhoods behind ours, asking anyone walking a dog if they had seen a brown and white hound mix, wearing a red working vest. Lily held the leash in her lap with both fists. At 7:42 p.m., I went to the gas station on Bell Road because they had cameras facing the street. The clerk knew Biscuit. Everyone knew Biscuit because Lily always asked him to say thank you before we left, and he would tap one paw on the tile. The clerk shook his head. I can't show footage without the manager. Lily leaned against the candy rack, pale and sweating. Please, she said. He helps me breathe. The clerk's face changed. He didn't let us behind the counter, but he looked himself. He scrubbed back through the footage around 2 p.m., when Lily and I were at therapy. There was Denise's silver SUV at the pump. There was Biscuit in the back, wearing his red vest. There was Paige, laughing, holding up her phone. There was a black pickup pulling in beside them. The buyer was turned away from the camera. But I saw one thing clearly. Denise had used Biscuit's service vest as padding while she slid a cardboard sign into the back of the SUV. On the cardboard, written in thick black marker, were the words, "Purebred trained family dog. $6,500 cash." I took a photo of the screen. The clerk pretended not to notice. At 8:31 p.m., Evan finally called. His voice was panicked. What happened? Your mother sold Biscuit. Silence. Then, she what? She sold Lily's service dog for Cancun money. Hannah, that can't be right. I looked at Lily in the passenger seat. She was whispering into the empty leash. I'm here, Biscuit. I'm here. I said. Come home, he said. I'm 6 hours away. Then drive fast. At 9:15 p.m., then posted in 3 local missing pet groups. Not a dramatic post, not a rant. A clear one. My daughter's service dog was sold without permission today, between 1:30 and 3 p.m. Brown and white hound mix, red vest, name Biscuit, microchip to me. Please contact me if seen. I did not name Denise. Not yet. By 10 p.m., the comments were full of outrage and prayers, and 3 useless sightings of dogs that were not Biscuit. At 10:47, Paige commented from her real account. Maybe don't use a dog as a babysitter and this wouldn't happen. I stared at the screen, then I screenshot it. At 11:12, Denise texted me. Take the post down. You're making this ugly, I wrote back. Buyer's name, she replied with a laughing emoji. That laughing emoji became the first brick. We searched until Lily fell asleep in the car, at 1:03 a.m., curled around Biscuit's leash, her mouth open from crying. I carried her inside, and laid her in my bed. Denise and Paige were on the couch watching a movie. Denise didn't even pause it. Done with the melodrama? I stood in front of the TV. I'm going to ask you one more time. Who did you sell him to? Paige lifted her phone again. Denise smiled for the camera. I sold my property. Your daughter is spoiled. You should be grateful I got such a good price before that mutt bit someone. My face burned. He never bit anyone. Well, Denise said. People don't know that. That sentence stuck in my head. People don't know that. At 2:10 a.m., I stopped begging. I went into the hallway closet and pulled out the binder. I am the kind of person people mock until they need me. I keep warranties, receipts, medical letters, vet records, therapy notes, training certificates, and appliance manuals in labeled sleeves. Denise used to call it your little anxiety museum. Biscuit's section was thick. Adoption record, training contract, service dog evaluation, microchip registration, vet bills, the red vest invoice, the letter from Lily's therapist explaining task training and medical necessity. And one more thing, the agreement Denise had signed 4 months earlier after she accidentally let Biscuit out because she was tired of him standing in the kitchen. I had written it myself and made everyone in the house sign it. Biscuit is Lily's service animal. No resident or guest may remove, transfer, sell, surrender, rehome, hide, or interfere with him. Any violation requires immediate reimbursement of all recovery costs, training replacement costs, medical costs caused by separation, and loss of access to the home. Evan thought it was overkill. Denise signed it with a fake laugh. Under her signature, she had written, "Happy now?" I took a picture of that too. Then I did the morally ugly thing. I did not call Denise's church friends. I did not call her sisters. I did not call Paige's boss at the salon. I let them talk. I let the post grow while I stayed silent. By morning, their phones would not stop. It started at 6:18 a.m. Paige screamed first. What the hell did you do? I was sitting at the kitchen table with coffee I hadn't touched. Lily was asleep in my bed. Denise came out in the same wrinkled blouse from yesterday, hair flattened on one side. What's going on? Paige shoved her phone at her mother. The missing post had been shared 4,800 times. Someone had found Denise's old Facebook post from 2 weeks earlier. Cancun in May. Baby. Nothing will stop me this time. Under it, people were commenting pictures of Biscuit, screenshots of Paige's babysitter comment, the gas station sign, the service dog tag from older photos. Denise's face went gray. You used my name? I didn't, Paige yelled. Everyone knows it's us. Buyer's name, I said. Denise's eyes snapped to mine. You think I'm scared of bored women online? No, I said. I think you're scared of refunds. That landed. Because Denise did not have the money anymore. I knew her. Cash burned holes in her hands. She had probably paid the Cancun deposit the moment she got home. Maybe more. Flights, hotel, matching beach hats, whatever fantasy she had built out of my child's lungs. At 7:03 a.m., Evan walked in. He looked destroyed. He had driven all night. His eyes went to the hook, then the bed, then me. Where's Lily? Asleep. Denise rushed him. Evan, thank God. Your wife has turned the whole town against me over a dog. He stepped back from her touch. Where is Biscuit? Denise blinked. Don't take that tone with me. Where is my daughter's dog? Paige scoffed. Oh, now it's serious because Facebook cares? I watched Evan's jaw tighten. For once, the wet cardboard dried into something sharp. Denise said, I did what was best. For who? He asked. For this family. We needed money. No, Mom. You wanted Cancun. Her mouth twisted. You don't talk to me like that in a house I helped raise you to have. I almost laughed. She had never paid one bill in our house. Then came the first reversal. Denise took out a folded paper from her purse and slapped it on the table. I knew Hannah would try to make me look crazy, so I got protection. It was a handwritten bill of sale. I, Hannah Miller, authorized Denise Miller to sell dog Biscuit for no less than $5,000. My name was signed at the bottom. For a second, the kitchen tilted. Evan picked it up. What is this? Denise looked right at me. You signed it last month. You said the training was too expensive. You were overwhelmed. Don't pretend you forgot. Paige smiled. She forgets a lot when she's emotional. I felt a flash of real fear. The signature looked like mine, if you didn't look too long. The H was wrong, but not wildly. The date said March 18th. March 18th. That was the day Lily had a therapy appointment at 1 p.m., and we came home to find Denise making tuna melts in my kitchen. That was also the day my printer jammed, and I threw away 3 half-printed insurance forms Denise had practiced. I reached for the paper. She snatched it back. Oh no! You don't get to destroy evidence. Paige was recording again. Say you lied, Hannah, she said. Say you gave permission and got mad because Grandma got more money than you expected. Evan looked at me, not accusing, but stunned, and that hurt worse than Paige's phone. I said, You know me. He said, I do, but his eyes were on the signature. Denise saw the crack and drove a knife into it. Your wife is unstable, Evan. Look at Lily. Look at this house. Look at the dog obsession. I saved you from one more burden. From the hallway came Lily's voice. He's not a burden. Everyone turned. She stood barefoot in my t-shirt, hair tangled, eyes swollen. She looked at Denise like she was seeing a monster without its mask for the first time. You sold my breathing. Denise's lips parted. For 1 second, shame almost touched her. Then Paige said, See? Dramatic. Lily flinched. Evan crossed the room and picked our daughter up. She buried her face in his neck. Denise's phone rang again. Then Paige's. Then Denise's. The sound filled the kitchen like insects. I wanted to rip the bill of sale out of Denise's hand. I wanted to scream forgery until my throat tore. Instead I said, Okay. Denise narrowed her eyes. Okay what? Okay. Keep it. That confused her. I looked at Evan. We're going to get Biscuit. At 8:22 a.m. A woman messaged me through the missing post. Her name was Mara. She worked the front desk at the therapy center where Lily went every Wednesday. I barely knew her, except for her purple glasses, and the way she always saved the corner chair for Biscuit, because he hated the shiny floor. Her message said, "I don't want drama, but Paige was in the parking lot yesterday when you went in. She took pictures of Biscuit through your car window. I thought it was weird. Also, your MEL called someone named Ron from the lobby bathroom last week asking if papers mattered. We have lobby audio for security, but I can only release to police or with management approval." I'm sorry. I stared at the name. Ron, that was all I needed. Denise's brother had a friend named Ron who bred doodles outside Mill Creek. He had been at Thanksgiving once and spent 10 minutes telling Evan that working dogs are gold mines if you know how to move them. I searched Ron Mill Creek train dog cache. Nothing. I searched his full name from Denise's Christmas card list. There he was, a public post from yesterday at 3:16 p.m. Beautiful trained family dog available. Already placed, but taking names for similar dogs. Serious buyers only. The photo was Biscuit. Not even a good photo. He looked confused in the back of the black pickup. Red vest twisted. One paw pressed against the tailgate. Lily saw the photo before I could hide it. "He's scared." Her voice was flat. That flatness scared me more than crying. I called Ron. No answer. I texted him. "The dog you bought is a microchipped service animal, sold without owner consent. Return him immediately," he replied, 5 minutes later. "Bought legal. Have paperwork. Denise's forged bill of sale." I wrote. "You have 1 hour," he wrote. "Harassment gets blocked." Then he blocked me. At 9:40, I drove to Mill Creek with Evan and Lily. Denise tried to stop us. "You're making a mistake," she said. I held out my hand. "My house key," she laughed. "Excuse me? My key. You signed the agreement. You interfered with Biscuit. You lose access." "This is my son's house," Evan said. "It's Hannah's house too. Give her the key." Denise looked like he had slapped her. Paige stepped forward. "Mom, don't." But Denise threw the key at me. It hit my collarbone and fell to the floor. "There," she said. "Happy now?" I picked it up. Not happy. Awake. Ron's place had a chain-link fence and 3 barking dogs in outdoor runs. Biscuit wasn't one of them. Ron came out wiping his hands on a towel, smiling like we were wasting his time. "No refunds," he said before I spoke. Lily hid behind Evan. I said, "Where is Biscuit?" "Sold." My stomach dropped. "To who?" "Nice family." "Name?" "Nope." Evan stepped forward. "That's my kid's service dog." Ron shrugged. "Take it up with the woman who sold him." I got a signed authorization. I held up my phone. "He's microchipped to me, and I got a bill of sale. Forged. Not my problem." Then he said the sentence that gave me the shape of everything. "Dogs are property. Paper beats feelings. Paper beats feelings." I looked past him at the camera over his garage, a cheap white security camera angled at the driveway. "Did your camera catch the sale?" His smile thinned. Leave. The apparent defeat came at 10:12 a.m. on Ron's driveway, with my daughter sobbing into her father's shirt, and Ron telling us Biscuit was already gone. I had the microchip, the training papers, the agreement, the gas station photo. None of it put Biscuit in my back seat. Lily whispered, "He thinks I left him." That broke me. I almost did the stupid thing. I almost grabbed the fence gate and made a scene big enough to ruin everything. Instead, I took Biscuit's pink leash from Lily's hands and clipped it to my own purse strap. Lily stared at me. "We're not going home without him forever," I said. "But we're going home now." On the drive back, Evan called the microchip company on speaker. I had registered Biscuit 2 years earlier after his training organization told me to update every emergency contact. The agent confirmed he was listed to me, with Lily as the dependent handler. She also told me something I had forgotten. Any transfer attempt triggered a notification to the primary email. At 3:04 p.m. the previous day, someone had tried to update Biscuit's microchip. The request failed because they entered the wrong security phrase. The security phrase was Lily's choice. Pancake Moon. Denise would never have guessed it. The agent sent me the failed transfer record while I was still on the phone. It showed the IP address location, the email used, and the phone number. Paige's email. Ron's phone number. Now paper was starting to beat feelings in the other direction. But the missing piece came from Mara at 11:26. I was in Lily's room, helping her put on socks, because she didn't want her feet touching the floor, without Biscuit beside her. Mara texted me again. My manager said I can't send audio, but I can tell you what I personally heard because I was standing there. Denise said, make sure the new people don't scan him until after Cancun. Paige said, we'll say Hannah signed, she never reads what she throws away. I'm sorry. Also, Paige dropped a sticky note in the parking lot. I kept it because it had your name on it, and I meant to ask you. A photo came through. It was a yellow sticky note with my name written 3 different ways. Hannah Miller. H. Miller. Hannah the 1000th. At the bottom, Paige had written, March 18th therapy, 1 to 2:15. My hands started shaking so hard, I had to set the phone down. They hadn't just sold Biscuit. They had chosen the therapy window, practiced my signature, planned the microchip transfer, and they wanted the buyers to wait until after Cancun to scan him. That meant they knew scanning him would expose them. I sent Mara one message. Can you keep that note safe? She replied, already in an envelope. That afternoon, Denise tried to turn the room. She posted a long Facebook statement at 1:07 p.m. She said I had agreed to sell Biscuit because Lily was too attached. She said I regretted it when she used the money for a family vacation I had been invited on. She said I had mental health issues. She posted a photo of the forged bill of sale. Then she made her biggest mistake. She added, Hannah told me, a dog is just property. I sat at the kitchen table and smiled for the first time in 24 hours, because I had never said that. Ron had. And Denise had just tied herself to him in public. People asked for proof. Denise replied to strangers with venom. Paige jumped in, calling Lily spoiled, calling me unmedicated, calling Biscuit a mutt with a vest from Amazon. I let them talk. Evan paced like a trapped animal. Why aren't we answering? Because they're writing it for us. He looked at me like he didn't understand. Then I showed him the house agreement, the failed microchip transfer, the sticky note, the gas station photo, Paige's comment, Ron's listing, and Denise's post quoting Ron. His face changed slowly. Not anger first, grief. My mother did this. Yes. Mansen, she practiced your signature. Yes. He sat down hard. Lily stood in the doorway. She had heard enough. She looked at him and said, Grandma knew he helps me breathe. Evan covered his face. At 2:33 p.m., I made my one ugly gamble. I messaged Ron from a second account, using my maiden name and no photo. Interested in trained family dog like the one you posted. Cash ready, need discreet. He responded in 9 minutes. That one is placed. Might be able to get back if offer strong. My skin crawled. I wrote, how strong? He wrote, 7,500. No questions. Must pick up tonight. Papers extra. Biscuit was not gone. He was being held or retraded. I asked, can I see video? He sent a 10-second clip. Biscuit was in a garage, red vest off, sitting beside a blue cooler. He looked toward the camera when Ron said, Biscuit. Lily heard his name from across the room and ran. I locked my phone to my chest before she saw the video. He's alive? She asked. I nodded. She started crying. But it was different. Messy hope. Dangerous hope. I sent the video and messages to Evan. Then I called Ron from my real number. He answered this time. I said, you're trying to sell my dog back to a fake buyer for $7,500. Silence. Then, you set me up. You set yourself up. You won't get him now. That was the danger. I heard it in his voice. He could move Biscuit, dump him, hurt him, sell him farther away. So I did the only thing I could do fast. I called the one person Denise feared more than shame, her travel agent. Denise had booked Cancun through a woman in her church group named Carol, who posted every client's beach countdown like it was a holy sacrament. I did not threaten Carol. I sent her Denise's public post, the missing dog post, the failed microchip record, and the agreement Denise signed. I wrote, Denise used the sale of my daughter's service dog for this deposit. I am not asking you to do anything improper. I am asking whether your agency accepts funds obtained through a disputed sale of a medical service animal. Carol did not reply. But at 3:18 p.m., Denise came flying down the stairs with her phone in her hand. What did you send, Carol? I looked at her. Buyer's name. You vindictive little. Buyer's name. My trip is none of your business. Buyer's name. Paige appeared behind her. Mom, stop talking, Denise screamed. I don't even have the dog. There it was, on Paige's live recording. She realized it 1 second too late, Evan said, very quietly. Then who does? Denise's phone rang again. She ignored it. It rang again. Paige's rang. Then mine. Unknown number. I answered. A woman said, Do you own a dog named Biscuit? My knees almost failed. Yes. My husband bought him yesterday from a man named Ron. We saw the posts. We scanned him at our vet this afternoon. I am so sorry. We didn't know. We have him. I pressed my fist to my mouth. Where are you? Brookside Animal Clinic. We didn't want to bring him to a house until we knew. Lily was watching my face. I said, We're coming. Biscuit heard Lily before he saw her. We walked into the clinic at 4:02 p.m., and from behind a door came one deep, broken howl. Lily screamed his name, a vet tech opened the door, and Biscuit came skidding across the tile, so hard his paws slid out from under him. He crashed into Lily like his body had been thrown by love. She went down on her knees and wrapped both arms around his neck. He climbed halfway into her lap, shaking, licking her chin, pressing his chest against hers like he was trying to put her breath back where it belonged. The pink leash dragged from my purse strap. I unclipped it and handed it to Lily. She clipped it to his collar with hands that knew the motion better than writing her own name. Then she whispered, You found me. Not, I found you. You found me. The woman who had bought him cried in the corner. Her name was Beth. She showed me her receipt. $6,500 cash to Ron, with Denise listed as original owner and Paige as witness. Beth had a son with autism and thought she was buying a trained support dog from a family who outgrew him. I did not yell at her. I asked for a copy. She gave it to me. Then she gave me one more thing. When I asked why there was a kid's name on the vest, Ron said the little girl died. For a moment, no one moved. Evan turned away like he might be sick. Lily didn't understand the whole thing, but she understood enough. Her arms tightened around Biscuit. Grandma said I was dead? No, I said, though it was not really true. Ron did, Beth said. Denise was there when he said it. She laughed and said, Close enough. That child can't function anyway. There are sentences that remove the last soft place in you. That was mine. The fallout started at 5:30 p.m. I made one post. Not emotional. Not long. I posted the microchip failed transfer, the house agreement with Denise's signature, the gas station image, Ron's listing, Paige's sticky note practicing my signature, Beth's receipt, and the clinic photo of Biscuit pressed against Lily's chest, his red vest back on, her fingers buried in his fur. I wrote, Biscuit is home. He was sold without permission while Lily was in therapy. The people involved forged authorization, attempted a microchip transfer, and told the buyer he was no longer needed. We have the records. We are pursuing recovery costs and all available remedies. Thank you to everyone who helped find my child's service dog. I still did not call Denise names. I didn't need to. Carol canceled the Cancun booking at 5:47 p.m. Denise's deposit was not refunded immediately because the agency had a fraud review policy for disputed funds. Denise posted that she was being persecuted by disabled dog fanatics. Carol commented once, Denise, you told me the dog sale was family approved. Please do not contact my agency again. That cost Denise her status at church faster than any insult I could write. At 6:12 p.m., Paige's salon owner called her. I only know because Paige screamed so loud the neighbors probably heard. Her boss had seen the forged signature note and the recording where Paige mocked Lily. Clients were tagging the salon page, asking if Paige treated disabled children the way she treated my daughter. By 6:40, Paige was crying on my porch, begging me to clarify that she had not actually sold Biscuit. I opened the door with the chain on. You witnessed the receipt. I didn't know it would go this far. Biscuit stood beside Lily behind me. He didn't bark. He just stared. Lily looked at Paige and said, I don't want you near my dog. Paige's face crumpled. Not because she was sorry. Because a child she had dismissed had just closed a door she thought would always open. Denise tried the family route next. She called Evan's aunt. his cousins, his old pastor. She told everyone I had trapped her, that I hated her, that Lily needed less coddling. But by then the proof was already moving faster than her mouth. At 7:05, Evan changed the door codes. At 7:22, he boxed Denise's things. At 7:51, he put the boxes on the porch under the light. Denise stood in the driveway, suitcase beside her, screaming that he was abandoning his mother. He stood on the top step with Lily behind him and Biscuit between them. "You sold my daughter's service dog," he said. "For a deposit," Denise shouted. "I was going to give you some of the money later." "No," he said. "You were going to Cancun." She pointed at me. "She poisoned you." Evan looked exhausted, older but steady. "No, you did." Then came the final paper. The training organization called the next morning. Beth had contacted them too because she felt awful. They had a clause in Biscuit's original placement contract. I had forgotten it because I never planned to sell him. Unauthorized transfer or attempted sale of a placed service animal triggered a mandatory recovery assessment, retraining evaluation, and civil cost claim against the transferring party, not against Ron first. Against Denise, because her name was on Beth's receipt and her signature was on my household agreement. The amount was not small. Recovery evaluation, $1,200. Emergency retraining assessment, $2,800. Handler separation therapy consult, $900. Administrative violation fee, $5,000. Replacement reserve liability, if Biscuit's work was damaged, up to $18,000. Denise called me at 9:14 a.m. after they emailed her. Her voice was no longer sharp. "Hannah, please, we can handle this inside the family." I looked at Biscuit, asleep across Lily's feet on the couch. He twitched in his dream. Lily had one hand resting on his side, rising and falling with his breath. "You took him outside the family when you sold him. I'll apologize." "No. I'll give the money back. You don't have it." A pause. "I can get it." "From who?" She started crying then. Wet, angry crying. "I'm going to lose everything over a dog," I said. "A mutt is not worth more than your Cancun deposit, remember?" She went silent. There are moments when people hear themselves clearly for the first time and hate the mirror. Then she whispered, "You're enjoying this." I thought about Lily in the car, clutching an empty leash. I thought about Biscuit's paw pressed to the tailgate. I thought about the little girl died. I thought about Denise laughing with iced tea in my kitchen. "No," I said. "I'm documenting it." Ron folded 2 days later. Not because he grew a conscience, because Beth demanded her money back. The training organization contacted him, and his own messages showed him trying to resell Biscuit for $7,500. The County Animal Services Office opened an investigation into his kennel permits. His page disappeared that same night. He sent Denise one public message before deleting his account. "You said the mother signed." Denise replied before Paige could stop her. She did. Then, Mara's sticky note photo landed in the comments from someone else. Not me, not Mara. Beth posted it with the receipt and wrote, "This is the signature practice note given to the owner." I was lied to too. That was the last pillar. Denise lost Carol, church, the trip, the money, the house, and the one thing she had always treated as guaranteed: Evan's obedience. Paige lost her job at the salon 3 days later. Not because I asked, because a mother canceled a birthday appointment for her disabled daughter and wrote, "I won't pay someone who laughs when children can't breathe." Others followed. Paige texted me 14 times. "Please say I didn't mean it. Please say I was just upset. Please tell them Lily forgives me." I showed Lily none of them. But one afternoon, while Biscuit slept with his chin on her knee, she asked, "Does Aunt Paige still think I cry over everything?" I said, "I don't know." Lily stroked Biscuit's ear. She cried when nobody wanted her. Then she went back to her homework. Denise moved into a weekly motel off Route 6. Evan's aunt took her for one night, then sent her away after Denise called Lily manipulative at breakfast. The training organization set up a repayment demand. Beth sued Ron in small claims for her $6,500. Ron dragged Denise into it with the receipt. Denise tried to use the forged bill of sale. That was when the March 18th therapy schedule and sticky note became more than ugly. It became proof. The last time I saw Denise in person was outside the courthouse annex. She looked smaller, without my kitchen behind her. Her hair was unwashed, and she had a folder clutched to her chest. She saw Lily holding Biscuit's pink leash. For one strange second, I thought she might say something human. Instead, she looked at my daughter and said, "I hope you're happy. Everyone lost because of that dog." Lily's hand tightened. Biscuit stepped in front of her, calm and solid. My daughter looked at Denise, really looked at her, and said, "No. You lost because of Cancun." Denise's mouth opened. Nothing came out. The court ordered repayment on the first chunk first. Beth's $6,500. The training organization's immediate $9,900, and our emergency costs. More would follow after Biscuit's final work assessment. Denise's bank account was frozen for review because she had deposited cash from a disputed sale. Her motel refused to extend without payment. Paige wouldn't take her in. Evan did not take her calls. Neither did I. At home, I put the pink leash back on the hook by the door. Not because Biscuit needed it there, because I did. The brass tag hangs from it now, scratched but readable. Lily's service dog. Do not separate. Sometimes I catch Biscuit staring at the hook like he remembers too. Then Lily says, "Biscuit, pressure," and he climbs into her lap like the world never broke. Denise still sends letters. No return address, just my name and handwriting I know too well now. I don't open them. I keep them in the binder behind the signed agreement, the forged bill of sale, the sticky note, the failed microchip transfer, and the receipt for $6,500 cash. My little anxiety museum. Happy now? No. But she is gone.